We have got our two mangy lions who are sitting right in the sun, but I think that they'll probably move fairly soon. Yes, it's getting hot now. It is getting very hot. They've got very piercing eyes, but I think that might just be because of the contrasting color of their skin. And obviously we can see their skin now because all that mange is eaten away at the hair, or eaten at the follicle, and then the hair has died. Sorry guys, that must be so itchy. It must be so unpleasant. And then with all the flies and everything, but he doesn't have it too badly just yet. But it might spread. Maybe he'll keep it under control. But you can see all around the face, because that's the point of contact when they're greeting one another. They'll always rub heads, so it's usually where it spreads first. He's going to come lay right here by the car, so you can see very relaxed, definitely Sabi sand lions. Not a bother in the world about the car, and also kind of far away from home, I would imagine. And they're still quite happy to come and rest up right by us. So I don't think we'll see much more action. You can't really see the Nkuhumas from where we are, so we won't bother about them for now. They've just moved further into this block, and I think they'll just continue doing that throughout the day. As long as they keep finding shade that satisfies them, and they don't get too hot, they'll probably be here this afternoon. And like I said, hopefully everything goes according to plan, and they slowly start moving towards the east to where the decent-sized herd of buffalo is just sitting and doing exactly the same thing as these lions, trying to keep out of the sun. And there's this one not ready to move out just yet. I don't know how much good the sun does for mange. Now, for those of you that missed what happened this morning, there wasn't really much that exactly happened. We just came across two different groups of lions. Obviously, the two we're looking at, and the Nkuhumas, which you can't see because they're in the shade at the moment. There was at one point a lioness got up, she snarled a little bit, but there was no response from these two young boys. And then she went and laid down again. And that's pretty much the extent of the interaction that's gone on this morning. These are two boys from the Mhangeni pride. I don't know them particularly well, but I think they hang around a little bit south and to the west of us. And why they've split off, whether they were chased away by maybe the Birminghams, I don't know who or why or what's gone on, but they've left their pride and come up to the north and are wanting to spend a bit of time with the Nkuhumas, who are not super tolerant of them, but they're also not saying no. So that's basically what has happened. And then they've got mange, as you can see. That's why you can see this. They've got black patches all over their bodies. So there we go, just a quick recap from what happened this morning. But it does look like they've been in a couple of scraps and fights, so perhaps they're just finding life a bit difficult, as do most young males at this kind of age, where you're trying to find your footing and, you know, very uncertain as to where you kind of fit in to the environment, I suppose. Not big enough to take on a pride, but also too old to stay with their natal pride. No, Sarah, I don't think the lions would have been kicked out of their pride for mange. That sounds like something only humans would do, would completely ostracize, you know, a person because of the way that they look. I don't necessarily think that that's what's happened. This is very typical. Once male lions reach between 2 and 3 years old, give or take, obviously there's quite a few things that can impact this and determine when they leave, they move off and they go on their own. So this is completely normal behavior, and they were going to get kicked out of their pride regardless of whether they had mange or not. Now, you can't really see mange normally. It's kind of, well, the actual, I suppose it's a parasite. It's you need to, I suppose, look under a microscope to actually be able to see it. It's very, 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 very small. But it's also itchy. They'll just scratch themselves all day long. But maybe the sun does help. That's kind of like, I suppose, with lice. And can't you get rid of lice by using heat? Maybe the sun does exactly the same thing to the tiny little mange mites that are living on them. Look at those fluffy ears. twitching them now. The flies must be bothering them. Right, Tristan is on the birds this morning. He's had hornbills already. I wonder if the one he's got is chasing a roller.